Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. It's David Schlotthauer here in the home weather office with another detailed weather forecast. But this time, we are going to be keeping an eye on the deep south with a big severe weather outbreak that is potentially possible over Texas, Louisiana tomorrow. We're also talking about some very intense heavy rainfall and some strong winds with this weather system. So we're going to break down all those details so you can get prepared for this upcoming storm tomorrow. So to start things off, here's a look at the latest HRRR version 4 model on weathermodels.com. This is not a free website. You have to pay a subscription in order to view models like this on the site. So looking at the forecast for this afternoon, and we can see over the next, say, 3 to 5 hours, not much going on, but pay attention down here across Brownsville, Texas. This is where our energy is going to be originating from. And it's going to really develop into a powerful storm system by tomorrow. And so forwarding the clock now all the way through, say, tomorrow early morning. So this is right. Actually, this is early tonight, by the way. This is 2 in the morning tomorrow. And yeah, showers do pick up across Waco, Texas, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Texas. We're going to see kind of scattered shower activity. Nothing too severe yet, but this is moisture being advected northward ahead of that surface low as we do get diffluent air aloft. And going forward, this is for 5 in the morning. Okay, so by 5 a.m., showers do increase. And then as we go forward in time here, by your morning commute, this is 9 in the morning Central Time. We do get showers that do flare up in Lufkin, if you're in Shreveport, if you're in Lake Charles. Some of these storms could produce very intense torrential downpours, maybe some urban flooding as well, depending on if these storms do hang around long enough. And then going forward, we can see storms really fire up. This is when we are expecting the big severe weather event really to take place. See these individual storm cells right here from Houston, Lake Charles northward into Shreveport, even towards, say, Little Rock. This is going to be the area to really watch for tornadoes. Some of them could be strong, okay? I don't really say that for late November standards, but we could be talking about a very micro area of a tornado outbreak. Maybe one strong tornado potentially tomorrow. We could be looking at some really some large hailstones of at least an inch, maybe 2 inches in diameter, because we're going to have some modest steepening mid-level lapse rates, and the wind energy associated with this is going to allow some more intense organized updrafts to get going. So this is a forecast for tomorrow for these areas, and again, this goes all the way into even tomorrow night. Showers and thunderstorms, maybe even some storms firing up here just north of Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Springfield, part of the colder side of the system trying to shape up. And then by Friday early morning, 5 and 6 in the morning, that storm does move through fairly quickly, but showers and storms down here across Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, and also there's some snow too and some freezing precipitation north of Kansas City, Topeka, Kansas, as some cooler air, limited in nature though, kind of filters into that precipitation core, and we get warmer air advection kind of rotating around, more moisture. We get some precipitation in the form of snow, and this could continue all the way until we get into 12 p.m. on December 1st, which is Friday afternoon for a lot of you that live down here. So New Orleans, Montgomery, gotta keep an eye on the sky. Gonna see some dicey weather over the next couple of days. Now, what are the ingredients for severe weather tomorrow for the setup? Well, first of all, we have a low-level jet. That is what we're seeing here. This is going to start increasing out of the southwesterly direction. So when we get increasing low-level flow, underneath mid-level flow from the southwesterly direction, that's the trough that we're seeing, and divergent flow, baroclinic ascent, and upper level support, we are going to get a lot of thunderstorms because we have a lot of moisture coming off the Gulf as well. And you can see that system really shaping up. This is tomorrow night. Look at this low level jet. This is pretty strong out of the southwesterly direction with winds anywhere between 50 to 60 knots at about 5,000 feet above the surface. When we bring that up to about 500 millibar flow by tomorrow night, you can see, look at this. I mean, this is quite strong. 64, 68 knots from the southwesterly or west-southwest direction. So you're going from flow doing this to flow doing this, and even surface flow doing kind of like that. And so what you end up seeing, I'm not going to show it in today's video, is curving to the hodographs. So if you think about this, you're going to see a lot of hodographs that do something like this, a lot of looped. And when you get looping, you get a supercell organization, and those supercells under a fairly pristine environment could go on to producing tornadoes. And some of them tomorrow, the atmosphere seems volatile enough to see at least one strong tornado that is EF2 or greater across eastern Texas into Louisiana and southern Arkansas into southeastern Oklahoma is where I think the best chances for at least some tornadoes, some of which could be strong, not particularly long tracked here, since we're going to have a lot of cell mergers later on in the period, because there's going to be a lot of clustering. We're going to see a lot of interfering of storms later on beyond, say, throughout the Thursday time frame. Once outflow dominance get kind of interrupt other cells. Okay, so now the instability is what we're also looking at here, and this is measured in kilojoules. This is in joules per kilogram. Sorry about that. And CAPE is the measure of energy in the atmosphere, of what a parcel will give off if forcefully risen through the atmosphere. So this is convective available potential energy. And as we go forward in time here, if this could actually work with me, come on. Let's work. Okay, so when we look at the forecast here, let's play this through. You can see throughout the day tomorrow, you can see the storm's really gonna, or the energy is gonna build across Houston, south of San Antonio. Look at this. We got 2,700 joules per kilogram. So enough energy down here, especially south of Lufkin into Lake Charles in Houston, to where we could see some organized supercells, some of which hail will produce 2-inch hail, and the potential for tornadoes as well. The significant tornado perimeter is also going to be very elevated tomorrow across southern Texas. You can see kind of this square region. This is what we call our warm sector, and within this warm sector, we are going to see about 2 to 3 on the STP. It's not very high, but again, some isolated areas, if any of these supercells can take advantage of that, we can see at least one intense tornado. One! Okay, I'm not talking about 3 or 4 strong tornadoes tomorrow, nothing like that, but at least one strong tornado within this regime of the warm sector. Because again, we have that shear, we have that instability, we have that lift involved, and a plenty full of moisture that's going to come into play as well. And then by day 2, that's Friday early afternoon, the STP values will be very mediocre and limited. And so we're not talking a big tornado threat on Friday versus of what we'll see tomorrow. Now, the dew points are going to be on the incline, right? So dew points now in the mid-40s across Texas, but watch as we go into tomorrow. The warm air advection is going to really get going, and so dew points in the mid to upper 60s across eastern and southern Texas, just into southwestern Louisiana, and down the pike here, eventually into early Friday morning. You can see dew points there will be in the upper 50s to lower 60s. The further south you go, you might see more water spouts because there's a lot more moisture, as seen there with dew points in the mid 60s. Now, how much rainfall are you all expecting with this? Well, here's a look at that precipitation forecast over the next couple of days. Some areas, especially from southwestern eastern Texas into central Louisiana and Central and southeastern Mississippi, you could see as much as 1, even 2 inches to as much as even 4.5 inches. If you get under, again, one of these cells, you could see rain amounts even topping 5.5 inches, and that's why the Weather Prediction Center has issued a marginal risk for flash flooding and heavy rainfall for Shreveport, Little Rock, and Arkansas. If you're in Fort Smith, Jonesboro, Baton Rouge, if you're in Houston, you're under a marginal risk. This goes also for day 3 for Mobile, New Orleans, Gulfport. If you're in Apalachicola, Albany, Montgomery, you're under a marginal risk for heavy rainfall and flooding for day 3. Now, because of what the Storm Prediction Center is seeing, according to the HRRR and some other CAMS guidance, which are convective allowing models, they have went ahead and issued an enhanced risk. That's a level 3 out of 5 on the Severity Weather Index scale, and this covers, if we zoom in on the enhanced risk here, this includes for Huntsville, if you're in Mongolia, if you're in Woodville, if you're in Lufkin. Yeah, this is in the southern Texas area. You definitely need to be on making sure you have your severe weather radio going, because we're going to have a lot of concerns here for tornadoes, some of which could be strong. In fact, if we look at that, there is a 10% chance for tornadoes. There's no chance for significant yet, but doesn't surprise me if they go for a hatched area eventually for this area. Not only that, the wind risk is mediocre at about a 5% chance, because again, we're not seeing a whole lot of dry air aloft that would otherwise allow for some intense downdraft potential. This is a very warm subtropical air mass advecting northward. So the wind part of this is going to be very tamed rather versus other points. But 5%, yeah, you might see an isolated intense wind gust. And hail too, there's also a threat for some 1 to 2 inch hailstones out of some of the strongest storms for tomorrow. But the enhanced risk is really driven by the tornado risk tomorrow. And you all, please need to take this seriously. I will probably end up live streaming on this, except I have church tomorrow night, so we'll see how that goes. We'll probably stream for a few hours on this event tomorrow, and instead won't have any YouTube video out on the channel. Before I go, I do have a couple of announcements that I do want to share with you all. First of all, I am creating a Sacramento Weather Center office webpage for you all to check out. It is 100% free to check out and join. There is no cost whatsoever. I have to publish the site to make it go live, which won't be until early next week. But keep that in mind. You're gonna see this too on in the Discord server if you are part of the Discord and other things like that. This is another way to promote my business as far as weather department goes, but this is going to be for people that want to follow me locally. This is only for the California region, similar to the National Weather Service, WFO, and other things. And not only that, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can check that out with the link in the description below this video. David Schlotthauer at Weather United 1 is what you need to do to follow me there on Twitter and check out my posts. I'm all over social media, I promise you that, and everything. But otherwise, that is going to sum it up for today's video. If you did enjoy the video, please consider subscribing if you're new, hitting the like button, and sharing this video with your family and friends on social media. And I'll be back with you more tomorrow in the Home Weather Office.